Friday, 22nd of May 2020. Today we're going to be talking to Sue Tarr, Chair of the Garve District Development Company. Sue is going to be telling us what the company has been doing to support the community during the COVID-19 lockdown and also discussing the importance of company membership.
Well, we actually seem to have been quite busy, don't we? I think we were very fortunate that we were able to act really quickly, and there were a lot of ideas about what we could do, and I think we were able to take forward some quite effective decisions. So the online community hub, garve.org, we've been making more use of that, but we've also set up the new COVID-19 mutual support group on Facebook, and the membership of that went up to over 50 in the space of about 12 hours, I think.
It did, that was really positive,
response.
yeah.
So between the hub, our own Facebook page and the mutual group Facebook page, that's been really great for lots of communication. We've offered people the chance to have your usual meetings with yourself and Lucy online via webcam, but I don't think anyone's really wanted to do that as yet, but that'll be there if anyone wants to come and speak to you.
Mm-hmm.
I think importantly, we worked with the LCT to get very quickly to get a support grant scheme, and that was up and running. Applications posted out and came in very quickly, and the money's been distributed very quickly, so that was great.
How many people applied for that, Sue?
About 150, I think.
Yeah, so that was really great take up, and I'm sure there's lots more people in the community who could apply for it still as well.
The money's been distributed very quickly, so that was great.
How many people applied for that, Sue?
About 150, I think.
Yeah, so that was really great take up, and I'm sure there's lots more people in the community who could apply for it still as well.
Yes, if you're resident and locked down in Garve District, you should have received an application form through the post, but please get in touch if you want to inquire about that. We've got, thanks to Gemma at the hotel, we've got the vegetable and butcher delivery boxes being delivered weekly, and then she and her volunteers can deliver it on to your house, and that's all been done with support from LCT funding, which is great. Ustron has set up a hot meal delivery service which goes out every day, I think. Yes, we've set up a register of volunteers, because that was one thing right at the start. Within the first few days, we had so many people saying, anything I can do to help, So we've got a register of volunteers, and one or two people who've come to us and said, oh, we can't get a prescription, or can you help with this? So
that's great. I think it always amazes me, when something, we've never experienced anything like this before, have we at all? But even when something smaller in communities happening, it always amazes me that how quickly communities come together in the Highlands, and how people very quickly put their hand up and say, look, I'm here, I'll do whatever I can to help and support, and that kind of register of volunteers at the minute, and how we can link people up, is really, really helpful.
Yeah, and I'd really like to thank everyone who has come forward and you know, offered whatever they can. That's just been fantastic. Yeah. So we seem to have been doing quite a lot in particular response to COVID. If there's anything else that people feel that they need, just, you know, or have ideas for us, just come and let us know. There's been the activities that Morven is in charge of as well, and we've got the model aeroplanes on the go, which seems to be taking off. Can I say that?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to those coming together, and you know, that kind of celebration of us all being able to meet again eventually. And I don't know, I have visions of it. I don't know what we're going to do with those, whether they're going to hang from the whole roof or whether we're going to try and fly them all together somewhere. But you know, that will be really wonderful, really good idea. And Andrew Biddlecombe as well being involved and coming up with that is just, you know, again, another community member putting himself forward is just fantastic.
Yeah. Can you think of anything else that we've...
Oh, I'm just trying to think. So Morven's been really active, hasn't she, around the virtual, trying to develop some virtual activities for the community during lockdown period. And I know she's tried and she's shared lots and lots of different things. I think we have at the minute, I think we have Zoe Bedwell at the minute as well, who's currently looking at doing some kind of activities for maybe younger people, younger children as well. And I know Morven and Zoe are working on that, so hopefully that'll be something that's coming out soon as well. But I think you covered everything there, Sue, in terms of what the company has been doing during this period, you know, and what we've put into place. Especially with Morven as well, and the virtual activities, which is fantastic. Well, like you say, if there's anything else that the community wants, then just let us know.
I think one of the key things as well is, you know, we're doing this video chat at the moment, and it's something that a lot of people might be quite shy about doing because they're not used to it. Although in some ways I think there's a lot of grannies and older people in the community that are more than used to keeping in touch with their families far away, so they may be further ahead than we are in a way, but yeah, we've all got to get used to this video conferencing. And
I think you're right. I don't think it's going to go away as quickly as we originally thought. I think there's still going to be quite a lot of self-distancing as we move along. And I think as long as we can keep offering opportunities for people to talk to us, whether that's by, you know, whether this is by video conferencing like we're doing now, or the telephone or email, or even telephone conferencing as well, you know, we could offer that to people, because I know some people, I find it difficult sitting on here and chatting, but I know some people do find this kind of digital media difficult, but lots of people chat on the phone, don't they? You know, so maybe we could try and invite people to talk to us by ringing in to a teleconference. You know, that's no cost to them, and see how that goes. Maybe I'll put that on my list of things to do, Sue.
Great.
So moving forward, I'm just thinking about community development and the community development plan, and how, you know, how important membership is. So what are your views on that, Sue?
Well, I know that you've been doing a little bit of work in the last few days on recruiting a few more members, and you've done quite well just in the last couple of days, and I believe we're now up to 139 members, and that's from 80 different addresses in the area, so that's great. We'd like more.
Yeah, definitely.
Because really, if we have as strong a membership as possible, that makes it a lot easier for us to tackle some of the projects that we're working on and accessing funding. There's a lot of talk at the moment about community right to buy or owning community land. And for that, you really need to show a good, strong membership in your company.
You do. You know, membership especially from Lucy and I's point of view, when we're, you know, because we are the people who apply for funds. And I know a lot of our money comes from LCT, but we do apply to lots of other different funds as well, and have brought quite a bit of money into the organisation. And as part of that application process, you do have to prove to funders, you know, that you are fully representing your community. So the more voices you have of, you know, your community sign up, you know, the more you can prove that, and funders really do appreciate that. So you're right, so it really is very important.
Yes, and of course members can have a say in the company itself as well. And when it comes to elections of directors and any changes that we need to make, any resolutions, there seems to be a few because that's one of the things about having to apply for funding for the work that you do, and criteria change all the time. Nothing stays static. Government policies change all the time, and then you suddenly find that they're saying, well, your company doesn't have this in the articles, so you can't get our money. So that's one of the reasons why we've got changes to the articles on the cards. It's not anything to do with us trying to be clever about
No.
changing the setup of the company or anything. It's really to do with how we access funding.
That's right. Yeah, you know, funders are quite descriptive sometimes, and they look in a detailed way at the mem and arts. And if there's any elements of it that doesn't meet their funding criteria, then they do come back to you and say, well, actually, you need to tweak this and you need to tweak that. And as an organisation, that can be quite difficult for us sometimes, can't it? When we're constantly having to go out and have EGMs just for very small tweaks, you know. But I'm really pleased that the community usually supports that, don't they? You know, we usually get the percentage that we need, and we can move things forward, which is really good. And I guess the other thing is that, you know, the board are all voluntary community members, aren't they? You know, and that the board is open, directorship is open to any member of the community to apply as well. Do we have vacancies on the board at the minute, Sue?
Oh, I was just going to say, yes, we're advertising for another director at the moment. So yeah, I'm not sure when the closing date for it is, but yes, if you're interested, please put in an application. And you were talking about the community development plan.
Yeah.
Which was a big piece of work that you and Lucy started on when you first started with us, and a lot of consultation went into that, and it covers a lot of areas of, I think we've got about 8 different streams, have we?
Yeah, yes.
So that's what guides us in all our decisions when we're making our decisions as a board. And it's, again, that's not something that's going to be static, it's going to be reviewed. So we're currently talking with the LCT and the Community Council about getting together and getting ready for the next phase of looking at the development plan, aren't we?
We are, yeah, and we'll, you know, we'll do that. And at the moment, Lucy and I are in the midst of doing the annual review of the plan, because I think it came into being about April last year. I think it was finally finalised after all the community consultation. So Lucy and I are just about doing the annual review of that and looking at the progress that the company's made towards what was in the plan, and obviously looking at, you know, all the things that we still have to do and trying to give that some priority, but then talking to the community about what is their next priority. Obviously, the biggest priority last year was the development of a village hall, and whether that was either going to be a new village hall or the existing village hall. but the community were really very clear about what they wanted about that, weren't they? They wanted a refurbished, redeveloped, existing Garve public hall, you know, and at the minute we're working really hard with the trustees to move that forward. So yeah, so all the work we're doing on the annual plan will go out to the community very soon, and we'll get their ideas. And we're just going to have to think about how we do that during this time, I think.
Yes, yeah, but we want everyone to be involved. We want people to come forward with their views and any new ideas. You know, we don't have to stick to the same things that are in the plan all the time. We're open to new ideas all the time.
No, that's right. Yeah, anything really. We can always build new stuff in as we're moving along, I suppose, because, you know, the things are changing constantly. Nobody would have envisaged what we're going through now in April last year, would they?
Yeah, and I suppose that's something that I think maybe our board will be trying to consider is, as we do come out of lockdown, how our community has been affected, you know, what the longer term impacts of it will be. I hope that not too many of our businesses will have been affected, but I'm guessing that some will.
Yeah.
We've got the Garve Hotel up for sale just now, which is very sad.
Yeah, you know, a long-standing business that has been part of the community for such a long time. You know, when I talk to people in the community, when I talk to members of the board, everybody has either worked there, you know, or certainly spent time there in, you know, over the years, and not only them but their parents, you know. So it's got that whole history behind it as well, hasn't it? You know, so it's very distressing at the minute for those people who are going to be out of jobs, but also, you know, it means quite a lot to the community in general.
Yes, yeah. Have we got anything else to?
I'm just thinking, I think we've got everything covered there. You know, we've talked about what the company has done during the lockdown period, and highlighted all those things. We've talked about how important communication is, and how we're able to do that with the community at the minute. So once again, you can email, you can telephone, you can make comments on the hub, you can make comments on the Facebook page, you can make comments on the COVID mutual page. We have offered Zoom meetings to the community. We'd love to have a Zoom meeting with members of the community where we can just chat and have a think about moving forward. And also, like I was saying earlier, we can maybe think about introducing telephone conferencing as well, and seeing whether people would be interested in that. And I think it really is at the minute about any organisation making themselves available to the community and to the members, in any possible way that they can. So I think you've covered everything there, Sue, definitely.
Well, what I hope is that we've maybe shown that we have worked very hard, in particular in response to the COVID thing, the crisis. We're getting on with other day-to-day things as well. There's progress going ahead on some of the other projects. You'll be hearing more from the energy group, from our new energy officer. The Garve Hall is progressing forward where it can. It's quite slow at the moment because of all the restrictions. They're still working away there and making progress. So hopefully you can see that we are working hard, and if you haven't joined us, come and sign up and become a member.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Okay, thank you, Sue, for that. And my bit now is to go away and make this whole video conferencing work, and be able to get that on the hub. But thanks, Sue, today for taking the time out. It's been really good to have a chat and just try something different, and hopefully we'll catch up very soon.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Well, thank you too, Tina.
You're welcome. See you soon, Sue.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.